What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Easter Sunday, 2024, March 31st, and it is 16:02 Eastern Time here in the United States. And we have some major breaking news coming in from Poland. So, Poland's FEMA equivalent has created a website encouraging the Polish population to prepare for nuclear and seaborne threats. That's chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear threats with potassium iodide and bug out bags. So, what you're looking at here is part of this website, and it says here nuclear threats, nuclear event. What is a nuclear event? A nuclear incident involves the uncontrolled release of a radioactive substance, blah, blah, blah. And then you can see here they have this video on YouTube, and it shows someone holding potassium iodide. It says jodek potasu. That's just Polish for potassium iodide. So this is very, very concerning, guys. We heard the Polish prime minister 2 days ago say that the Polish population needs to go into a pre-war mentality, that the young people in Poland need to start thinking about war, and that Polish people need to be accustomed once again to war. So this is very, very concerning. There were also several trains full of American military equipment spotted in Poland. I cannot verify exactly where this video was taken, but it is somewhere in Poland. I don't know if these trains were heading towards the Russian border or if they were going towards Ukraine, and this is equipment destined to Ukraine. I don't think it's for Ukraine because it still has the sand camo. So I think this is for Poland or maybe for the Baltic countries. I don't know. But remember the last couple of days, what's been going on in Belarus. The French intelligence service said that they had satellite imagery showing a massive buildup of Russian forces in Belarus. And the president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, paid a visit to the border of Lithuania. He met with one of his commanders, his army commanders, at the border of Lithuania, and they were talking about basically attacking the Baltics and parts of Poland to conquer the Suwalki Gap. And Belarus has moved hundreds of troops, actually hundreds of tanks and thousands of troops to within 10 miles of the Lithuanian border. They now have an entire mechanized brigade on the same highway that goes straight into Vilnius, the capital of Lithuania. Okay, they have an entire brigade that they relocated from eastern Belarus to northwestern Belarus in the village of Ashmiany, which is literally 10 miles from the border of Lithuania. They have an entire mechanized brigade with 60 T-72s, over 200 BMPs and BTRs, and dozens of artillery systems. Okay, now Belarus has also relocated their air force from the western part of Belarus, close to Lithuania and Poland, to the eastern part of Belarus in the event that a war breaks out. This way, their aircraft don't get destroyed by Polish and NATO missiles. So they removed their fighter jets, whatever crappy old Soviet fighter jets they had. They moved them from the base in Lida, which is in northwest Belarus, to, I think, Minsk or to Baranovichi. And then they also moved some jets that were closer to the city of Brest, which is close to Poland, and they moved them further east back away from the front, which is basically near Poland and Lithuania. So this is very, very concerning, guys. Looks like a war is about to break out in Eastern Europe again. This time it's going to be between Belarus and the Baltics and potentially Poland. I think Putin is going to use Belarus to open up a new front. This update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply has brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you got to use the link preparewithnyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. But this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life. It includes over 2,000 calories per day, breakfasts, lunches, dinners, drinks, and snacks, all contained within 6 rugged water-resistant buckets, and free shipping is included. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $200 off or 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply. The link is in the description below this video. Free shipping is included. They also have a general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running various discounts. And to get to their general store, you just got to click on the My Patriot Supply logo when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com at the top of the page, and you'll see their general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running discounts here. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, and the link is in the description below this video, which would keep NATO preoccupied while Russia could make a big advance in Ukraine. So we have to keep an eye on this, and Poland giving instructions on what to do in a nuclear attack is very, very concerning. And according to a document signed by Putin, there's going to be a new mobilization of 150,000 Russians aged 18 to 30. And this mobilization is going to go from April 1st through July 15th. Okay, so red alert. Vladimir Putin has officially signed a new mobilization for 150,000 young men aged 18 to 30. So that is very concerning. And we have the ground forces commander of the Ukrainian army, Alexander Pavlyuk, saying that hundreds of kilometers of fortifications and defensive rings have been built around the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv. He said in a year, this is about 1,000 kilometers of fortification, 3 rings of defense of Kyiv. The Chernobyl direction has been greatly strengthened. Long-term concrete fortifications are being built. We did everything to ensure that there were no options for a sudden enemy entry. And this is coming right after the mayor of Kyiv, Vitaly Klitschko, former heavyweight boxing champ and legend, admitted that Kyiv could become a target for Russian ground forces again in this new offensive that Russia plans to launch. He said in an interview with Bild, which is a German newspaper, Kyiv was and remains a target for Putin because the capital is the heart of the country. But we are much better prepared for this than we were 2 years ago. If Putin makes that decision, it will be a bloody decision. So you see what's going on here, guys? Ukraine is fortifying their most strategic cities now. They're not focusing on the front lines anymore. They're basically digging in around their cities, Kyiv, Odessa, and Dnipropetrovsk. They've been building massive fortifications around those cities, okay? So they're obviously concerned, and they probably have good intelligence that leads them to believe that Russia's going to make a huge push and break through the lines. And when they break through the lines, they want to make sure that their main strategic cities are protected because they don't think they're going to be able to hold those lines anymore because they've run out of equipment, they've exhausted their manpower, and it's going to take time for Ukraine to get more Western equipment and to replenish their soldiers, okay? So this is going to be a very, very intense year in Eastern Europe. And then all the while that's going on in Ukraine, we're going to have potentially Belarus opening up a front with NATO in Lithuania. Okay, so it's going to be very chaotic. And when all that happens, I will be going live 24/7 to cover it all. So make sure you're subscribed. And the foreign ministries of Turkey, Kazakhstan, and China are urging their citizens to quickly leave Odessa, Kharkiv, and Kiev. So that's another sign that something big is about to go down. You have all these countries that are friendly with Russia telling their citizens to leave Odessa, Kharkiv, and Kiev. Okay. And Russia has officially blamed Ukraine for the concert hall attack in Moscow. And they're demanding that Ukraine immediately extradite the head of Ukrainian intelligence, Vasyl Malyuk, for his connection to the Moscow terror attack. And Russia saying if Ukraine refuses to extradite him, then Russia will declare Ukraine a terrorist organization. And here we have an official post from the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs on Twitter. This was posted today on Easter Sunday on Russia's demands for Ukraine under the International Convention for the Suppression of Terrorist Bombings and the International Convention for the Suppression of the Financing of Terrorism. The brutal terrorist attack committed in Krasnogorsk on March 22nd is far from the first act of terrorism targeting our country in recent time. The Russian side demands that the Kiev regime immediately cease any support for terrorist activities. So it's coming, guys. Russia's going to do something crazy. Putin's going to do something crazy soon. He's going to use this terror attack to his advantage to get support for whatever he's going to be doing. And here we have some video footage coming out of Belgorod. I believe this was this morning, and it shows Russian air defenses shooting down some kind of aerial objects. I don't know if they were shooting down drones or rockets or missiles. I don't know, but you can see multiple kabooms there in the sky. So the situation in Belgorod is continuing to escalate. And Ukraine came under a massive missile attack last night, which was actually in the morning for Ukraine. So that was Easter Sunday morning. Russia launched a missile attack on Ukraine. So you have to ask yourself this question: how can Putin be a Christian if he's ordering missile strikes on another country on Easter morning? Okay, that is extremely evil when people are going to church. So apparently Ukraine shot down 9 cruise missiles, 9 drones, and Russia launched 14 cruise missiles, 11 drones, an Iskander missile, and an X-59 guided missile at Ukraine. And in the Lviv region, the Russians attacked the same critical infrastructure facility that they targeted in prior attacks on March 24th and the 29th. They damaged some energy infrastructures in Odessa as well, and an agricultural facility in Kherson. And the 117th Brigade of Ukraine's Territorial Defense Forces has reported that Russian troops used for the first time a 1,500 kilogram heavy bomb on Ukrainian soil. They dropped it in Hramata in the Sumy Oblast, and we actually have footage of that here. Okay, a 1,500 kilogram bomb that's over 3,000 pounds. Okay, look at that massive mushroom cloud. Absolutely insane. So Russia is resorting to using more massive munitions, and this could be a sign that Russia is preparing to use weapons of mass destruction. I'm very concerned that Putin could start using chemical weapons. We haven't seen Russia use those yet, but he could start using nerve agents. He could put them on artillery shells and start bombarding Kharkiv or other places, maybe along the front line. He can start bombarding the front line or Kharkiv with nerve agents. That's a very real possibility. And the Finnish foreign minister, Elina Valtonen, has not ruled out the possibility of sending foreign troops to Ukraine, though she said there is no need for it at the moment. Now's not the time to send boots on the ground, and we are not even willing to discuss it at this stage. But for the long term, of course, we shouldn't be ruling anything out. So very interesting. And here we have some footage that was taken after the Dnipro Dam was hit by multiple missiles last week. And you can see some of the damage here. You can see some of the spillways are not operating. So the water should normally be flowing through all of these spillways, or most of them, but it looks like some of the spillways are closed off for some reason. And you can see massive damage here to the actual power plant of this dam. This is the hydroelectric power plant on this dam, and Russia hit it directly with several missiles. They also hit the top of the dam up here, but a lot of the spillways appear to be closed off for some reason. Maybe they're repairing them, maybe they're checking them. But you can see massive damage to the power plant there. Okay. And it's very possible in the future that Russia could target this dam again and try to just completely take it out, which wouldn't be difficult for them to do. And Russia's defense ministry has claimed to have shot down rockets and drones over Belgorod and Yaroslav oblasts in Russia on the morning of March 31st. That's this morning. Russian forces supposedly shot down 10 Ukrainian rockets launched from an RM-70 Vampire multiple launch rocket system. One house caught on fire and a woman was injured due to Russian air defense operations. So I wonder if that video I just showed you guys could be these Vampire rockets that Russia's claiming to have shot down that were launched from Ukraine. And Israel launched airstrikes on Damascus today, striking the IRGC and Hezbollah positions there, potentially hitting some research facilities. And the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, is going to be undergoing hernia surgery, and he's going to have to go under general anesthesia. And during that time, power will be temporarily transferred to Yariv Lewin, the justice minister. So very interesting. And here we have some pictures of these fortifications that Ukraine is frantically building. This one is around Odessa. Again, you can see these massive trenches here, anti-tank trenches. You can see all these dragon's teeth that they're pouring into these molds. These are just steel molds, and they're pouring concrete into them. And you can see all the dragon's teeth back there sitting there. So Ukraine is definitely concerned about something happening to their main strategic cities. They're concerned about a massive Russian offensive that would go after Odessa and Kyiv. So that's some of the latest breaking news that I have. I hope you guys are enjoying your Easter Sunday, Resurrection Day. Today is the day that we as Christians celebrate the resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So I hope you're remembering the reason for Easter. It's not because of the Easter bunny, okay? But there's nothing wrong with a chocolate bunny. They taste good and kids love them. But other than that, I might be back later with another update. If not, I'll be back tomorrow with more updates. So until the next time, have a good Easter. Happy Easter to you and yours. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. Guys, the world is getting crazier by the day. We're on the verge of World War III. The U.S. is drowning in trillions of dollars in debt. Inflation is at an all-time high, and there's no end in sight. So you need to prepare your finances for the future with precious metals. Precious metals are a great way to protect your hard-earned savings and retirement against inflation and the uncertainty of the stock market. Also, precious metals are good to have for the purposes of preparedness, to be able to barter with people for essential supplies if the grid goes down. Every prepper should have at least a small amount of silver coins. The company I trust for my precious metals is Midas Gold Group. Text NYPrepper to 232425 for free information on precious metals. Midas Gold Group is 100% veteran owned and supports veterans through the Wounded Warrior Project. Midas Gold Group will work with you to convert part of your retirement savings into gold or to set up a gold IRA. And unlike many precious metals dealers, Midas Gold Group offers precious metals in small denominations which is great for preparedness, so you have something tangible to use for bartering when the grid goes down. Precious metals have continuously risen in price over the past 100 years and are considered a safe investment. So text NYPrepper to 232-425 for free information and to get started today.